Hello and welcome to your Vedic Lunar Scope. For the 1st of May 2015, happy May everyone, summer's just around the corner. The moon today is in the sign of Libra and enters Chitra nakshatra later on in the day. Chitra is symbolized by a pearl. Two different concepts in relation to this association. And pearls are a gem, and actually Chitra is associated with the brightest star, Spica. And there's the tendency within Chitra for something to seem alluring, for something to tantalize and draw our attention. But it usually brings with it the question of whether this thing which we feel a great sense of desire for is actually aligned with our purpose, aligned with our destiny, aligned with our dharma. And this is another association of Chitra, which is honor, dharma, that which is right, that which feels correct in our heart. And over the course of the day, there can be a realization, a recognition, an opening of awareness. But this opening of awareness can be to the extent that you may feel somewhat overwhelmed with the strength or the power of the level of truth and awareness which is represented by this dawning or represented by this revelation. Due to this, it can make it a little bit hard to actually shift gears or put the full weight of your momentum behind what you are now sensing that you need to do. And there is some change, there's some shift that needs to take place, and mainly what needs to happen is a purification of this sense of feeling overwhelmed, because sometimes something hits us out of the blue, like a bolt out of the blue. And it's very interesting because the solar lunar yoga today is Vajra, which is a thunderbolt. And through this awakening of awareness, through listening to whatever it is which may dawn upon you today, recognize that it's not necessary that you take immediate action in order to create the change. You do have the time to allow a little bit of a process. And this is leading up to a full moon, which is going to take place in the sign of Scorpio over the course of the next couple of days. So the energy is beginning to build as we're approaching that full moon. We are in the Tithi of Shukla Trayadashi. That's the lunar day, the 13th lunar day of the bright half of the moon. And desire can be very heightened by this particular lunar Tithi. I should point out to you that a very tense aspect happens today between the moon, Pluto, and Uranus. So there is very much the energy of sitting with that which feels right in your heart. The seeds are beginning to germinate of a revolutionary change that can take place in your life. But through that happening, you have to face the truth and perhaps even face where your ego has been hiding from the truth. You may have been desiring a specific outcome, and that specific outcome may not necessarily be possible. There's some alteration that needs to take place. And there's a cleansing of the heart that also goes hand in hand with this. So if you feel overwhelmed a little bit by this information, by recognizing that perhaps you thought things were heading one way and then you recognize that it's really quite another, well, don't let it daunt you. Just sit with the situation a little bit. Allow the emotions to cleanse. Allow your mind to come to a heightened sense of awareness. Baby steps can be taken today, but I wouldn't take any huge steps in relation to whatever this represents for you. And while we're on that note, we should talk about the fact that obviously this is just a very general look at the energy of the day, albeit a very in-depth general look at the energy of the day, because we're using a very wonderful tool in Vedic astrology relating to the nakshatras and the panchanga. But it's going to affect each person in a different aspect of their life. And basically any astrological transit is going to impact any individual in a completely different area of their life, dependent upon where we have the planets, where the aspect is going to fall. And for that, in order to understand the impact of astrological alignments upon your life personally, well, you really do need the assistance of an astrologer. And I do offer a vast range of astrological services that are available through my website, including person-to-person consultations, which are interactive conversation between you and I as we look at particular points in your chart based upon whatever you're asking me a question about. I also do in-depth personalized video reports, which are recorded as a monologue. Both the person-to-person and the in-depth personalized video reports use this very tool that I'm recording my YouTube video through. And there are also written reports for those of you who prefer the written word over the spoken word, all available through the astrological services link. It's available on this video. If you closed it down, it's also further down in the description area of this page. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube video page yet, please do consider doing so. That way you can receive regular updates every time a new video is released. That's going to do it for your Vedic Lunar Scope for today, the 1st of May. Until next time, I do hope that you'll take the very best care of yourself. Bye now.